Just going to go through the steps to output your SharpCloud views to a Microsoft PowerPoint presentation. In short, there are 3 steps that you need to go through. First of all, in your story, you need to create a presentation. Then you need to go to the SharpCloud desktop tool, which is a companion application free with SharpCloud. And from there, you just click the presentation or the export presentation button, and that will take each of the views from your presentation and output them as a specific PNG or image into a slide in a PowerPoint presentation. So I'll show you that in just a sec, and then we'll just touch on the prerequisites before you can go through that process. And simply the prerequisite is that you've downloaded and installed the free SharpCloud desktop application. So I'll switch into my web browser, and here I've got a SharpCloud story. Let's imagine I want to output some views from this particular story. I don't need to output just the saved views from the left hand side, but I can choose any of those. But the key thing is I need to create a presentation, which I'll do now by going to Manage Presentations, and I'll add a presentation. I'll call this maybe Meeting, because maybe I'm outputting some views for a particular meeting. If I click OK, that presentation now exists as one of a number of presentations, perhaps in my story, and I can select the one that I want to then add slides to. So having selected the meeting presentation, I'm just going to use this little pencil and the associated camera to go through and take slides that I want to output as images. So for example, I might want to just click and filter the view and take a slide using the camera. So basically what I'm seeing on screen now will be the first slide that will be output to PowerPoint when I export the presentation. I might decide to do a couple of other things. So I might decide to filter or pull in the timeline, so I can do all the normal things in SharpCloud to set up my views how I want them for export. So in this case I may drag in the timeline, but also maybe show all of the high priority projects and programs across this story. So perhaps that's the second view that I want. So I just click on the camera button, and now that's my second sort of configured slide that I can output. I'll just go to maybe one other view, and here perhaps again we might want to just filter this, so maybe I take out the hardware category, and we might want to output this particular bar chart. So again I'll just take a slide, and I've got my third slide in the presentation. Okay, so once I've got all the views that I want to output saved as slides in my presentation, I'll just tab over to SharpCloud for Desktop, and I've already got it open. In SharpCloud for Desktop you have access to all of the stories that you've recently worked on the online version of SharpCloud, and by clicking on that it will take or cache a copy of that story locally, and from there you'll be able to output the presentation. So I'll click on this item to open it up and export the presentation. Once the story is open in SharpCloud for Desktop, again you can choose the particular presentation of interest, and this is the meeting presentation that I want to output, and then you can just click on the export button, which will start to export the slides as PNGs directly into a PowerPoint presentation. So I'll click on the button, and that will output them one by one. Once the export completes, each of the slides is output as a PNG into a new PowerPoint presentation and uploaded automatically onto a new slide. So I'll go to PowerPoint. So here you can see it's output 3 PNGs as 3 separate slides in PowerPoint, so you can annotate them and obviously embellish them from there.